Our victorious forces continue their liberation of Europe's cities, sweeping the GLA from the streets. In today's Security Council session, the Premier humbly accepted the world's gratitude, but cautioned that the GLA should be hunted down to the last soldier. This is a wounded animal, declared our leader, but it must not find a cave where it might gather back its strength. The USA now chooses to concentrate on her own borders, but China is here to help our European comrades. Our new allies agreed with the Premier strategy, and our military has launched new aggressive campaigns against the terrorists. This is Sun Meiying reporting.
Intel reports that the GLA are retreating towards this location. We will make our stand here. Do not permit any GLA units to leave this area.
We have
Our new
plenty of
Helix
seats.
helicopter should assure your success. The appearance of our forces from the south will signal the...
This mission's simple enough. All I have to do is stop the units from the south from reaching the east. It's kind of like a tower defense thing. There is a limitation on this mission, kind of like the last one, except in this one I'm limited to infantry and air units, so I can't build any more tanks.
Upgrade complete.
Thankfully, the GLA doesn't control any of this map, so I'm free to take all the resources I want, which should make defending these tanks a lot easier. I can put up some bunkers, build some helixes. Should be pretty easy. Kind of a pleasant break compared to the last mission. At least in this one I have a little bit of freedom, and there's some restriction, but it's not like a handicap. It's more just balancing the map. Otherwise, it would be way too easy if you could just pump out a bunch of overlords and nuke cannons all day. Still, even with all that balance, this is a pretty easy mission, so I'll try to beat him as quickly as I can. Sadly, I have to wait for them to come to me, otherwise I'll just stomp them out right now.
I like the big targets. We'll tear through their armor.
Strapped in and ready. China's Air Force.
We'll tear through their armor. Let's pick up some goods.
Initiating air patrol.
Check under here. On the hunt.
Secure these buildings.
Since this is a bit of a boring match, I'd like to see if anybody's paying attention. So I'm gonna read a Sonic fanfiction called Project Darkness Angel. A dark form rests in a dark tube in a dark room. Humians surrounded, working to watch and secure it. A red light flashes. The Humians strive frantically to keep the form stable. Its eyes open, their blood red. The glass breaks and the form steeps to the ground, smirking. It lifts its hand to its head and long sharp claws cut through the being's white gloves. It turns to the fleeing humans. It runs at them, claws out. It kills many of them, ripping, scracking. The smell of blood and the screams excite the being. It runs out of the room. A bit down the hall, the being meets with some robots and pushes and slashes its way to the forest outside. In the forest, Shadow training alone. He breaks the rock with Chaos Spear while blasting through the forest. As he runs through the forest, he suddenly stops as he hears something in the dark forest. And who are you? Shadow asks calmly, preparing for battle. The girl chuckles. Answer, Shadow says. My name is Project Darkness Angel. Dark for short, she says. Her voice is calm and sexy. It is also evil sounding. Shadow stands his ground. Another project, eh? Shadow responds. And you are? Dark asks. Shadow. My name is Shadow, Shadow states. As soon as he states this, Dark pulls out a black Chaos Emerald. Chaos Control! She yells, and then she disappears. Shadow. She escaped using a black Chaos Emerald. This is bad. I need to tell Sonic and the others so we can find her and stop her before she causes real damages. Later in the city. Yes, she called herself Project Darkness Angel. Dark for short. Shadow answers.
And by the way you describe her, she's hot as well.
Sonic says. Amy punches him.
Ow! What was that for?
Sonic asks. ASSPD officer stands there.
Hello, what's wrong, officer?
Sonic asks. Sorry to bother you, but we need you. Her help in capturing escaped military weapon.
Really?
Yes, it highly dangerous and must be captured quickly or the whole world and everything on it will be in deep shit.
Okay, give me a picture and me and my friends are on it.
Sonic replies. The officer hands him a picture. He looks at it. It's the same girl Shadow described.
Holy fuck!
Sonic curses. Sonic and Shadow run to the city park where Dark was. Be careful, Sonic. Dark may be as dangerous as she is sexy, Shadow said.
There's no time to plan a strategy, Shadow. The park's on fire. We have to go there faster before someone gets hurt.
Sonic said. They get to the park and they find the trail of destructions and follow it to find Dark.
There she is at the school,
said Sonic. Sonic and Shadow race into the school in search of Dark. After searching 5 rooms, Shadow finds her on the 2nd floor. She stand over an unconscious teacher. Haha, I knew you would show up. Now I have you right where I want you, said Dark. Shadow, wasting no time, attacks her immediately. Shadow's first attack misses and Dark kicks him in the chest. Shadow jump kicks Dark, but she blocks and throws him into the wall. Sonic enters the room and shouts,
I'm here to help you, Shadow.
Dark is distracted by Sonic and Shadow attacks again and kicks Dark in the leg and throws her into the wall. Dark quickly recovers and grabs a girl by the arm. 2 versus 1 is not fair, Dark said.
Neither is taking the hostages, you bitch,
Sonic said as he hit her with a spin dash. Then Shadow grabs Dark's hand before she can get... This one's a little bit tough to read. Let me try it again. Shadow grabbed Dark hand before can she grab Emerald and forces it behind back. His other hand grabs her other arm. He holds her arm together. Dark grumbles. Shadow yanks her to the door that leads to the stairs outside. Dark faints. Shadow says, looking down at her. He picks her up and runs down and outside. Sonic hands the girl to her mother. Before Shadow can hand Dark over to the officer, she grabs Shadow by the head and kisses him. Shadow's stunned for a second by Dark and holds her tight. Sonic,
what the fuck, Shadow?
Shadow and Dark then runs away. In the forest, Shadow and Dark stop. Before Shadow can talk, Dark grabs his cock and twists it gently. Then there's a really graphic and difficult to understand description of Shadow and Dark having sex. It goes on for 4 paragraphs. I'm not sure the author has ever had sex, because there's lots of cock twisting in this. It's really odd. From the descriptions here, it sounds like Shadow's cock is made out of flubber. But I'm not gonna read all that shit. That's enough debauchery for now. Back to the game. It's about time they did some damage to something. I was getting kind of bored here.
Enemy tanks out down the enemy.
Ooh, they brought scud launchers too. I'll actually have to fight back this time.
Gatling cannon is ready. Helix on the scene. Punish them. Thunderstorm. Make it worth my time. Take it over there for now.
Strapped in and ready. Make in flight.
These attacks are pretty tame. I think if I put a bunch of helixes and MiGs right at the entrances, I wouldn't even have to do anything for these first few waves. It's kind of like the opposite of the last mission. This mission, I have all the leverage, and they have none. So, it'll be pretty easy. Not much to say about it, though, sadly. It's kind of like crushing ants along a trail. There's no real point to it. They can't fight back, and they're really easy to hit, so you don't even have to try. And it doesn't feel rewarding, unless you're a real psychopath. Maybe testers got PTSD from the last mission, so they had to put this one in to balance it all out. Otherwise, you'd have a bunch of psychopaths running around talking about the Scud launchers.
Immediately.
This feels like a mission I would have really liked my first time through. It's linear, it ends when it ends, it starts when it starts. You can't, fuck up and have to spend an hour on it or anything like that. You can't fuck up and build the wrong units either because you're limited to air and infantry, so you're going to build a lot of helixes, pretty much. And with all the resources you can capture, there's pretty much no limit to the amount of helixes you can build. So anti-air's not really a problem because they're not going to send in Avengers or anything that can really shoot them down quick, I think it would be easily beatable even with just infantry, but, it's just not fun to handicap yourself. You can blindfold yourself, tie a hand behind your back, hop on one leg, and play the game through, but actually, now that I think about that for a second, that sounds fucking awesome. If anybody can beat Command & Conquer blind, that's a pretty big fucking accomplishment. It reminds me of that video of that guy beating Punch-Out blind. That's pretty badass.
The speaker
I can see how you can do it, though, because you got the audio cues, right? And it's, A-B controller with the directional pad, so you don't have, like, a mouse to deal with or having to remember where your cursor is or anything like that, but that's still crazily impressive. I don't think I could ever do that. There's also a video of a blind person beating Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. That's fucking ridiculous. The way that he does it is that he uses a sword as kind of like a sound cue, so he can hit a wall with the sword and he knows that he's up against a wall, or if he's up near a specific item or anything like that. It's way more complex than I can describe, but that's some intense stuff right there. I mean, just the amount of planning I'd have to go through just to prepare for something like that, and for him to do that and succeed in it, that's just incredible. If anybody could do that with Command & Conquer, that would just be nuts. I don't think my mind could process that. It's just fucking crazy.
We will defend this airspace.
The most you'll see out of me on a challenge is I might pick a hard-to-use general on a general's challenge, or I might limit myself to infantry, but I ain't gonna play nothing blindfolded. I'm just not good enough for that. That's just insane. Though I kind of wish I did this mission with just infantry. I'm not gonna do this mission again. I already got everything built. But it would be a mission to do a challenge on. It's already too easy as it is. I think there's a place for overly difficult challenges. It's just the ones that I hate are the ones that are just lazy, I guess. The blindfolded ones, like, crazy, insane, so it's cool, it's gonna be fun to watch, and even if they fail, it's not like the most disappointing thing in the world, because who else can really even get past the first few characters blindfolded, right? But the challenge is to where it's like, I'm gonna give you a shitty fucking unit, and I'm gonna put you against the counter for it. That's just, well, maybe it's fun to watch, but fuck, I hate playing them. I like the more entertaining challenges, kind of like the stuff that they put you through in the General's challenges, where you have a whole bunch of tools at your disposal, and it's up to you to use them right, instead of limiting you to the point to where there's only one uniform strategy that's going to work, That's not quite as fun in my opinion. Though it is pretty fun to do these challenges while I'm recording them. If it's a really tough one, it's still annoying to play, but the fact that I get to share my agony with all of you does make it pretty fun. Now imagine how the Punch-Out guy would feel if the camera cut out halfway through his performance and he beat Mike Tyson at the end of it. Wouldn't that just be the fucking worst? I guess if you're a witness of it, it'd be pretty cool, though. You'd be privy to the rare fucking moment of history where the guy beat Punch-Out completely blind, but that would just piss me off. I wouldn't be able to handle that. I would never play Punch-Out again if that happened. Now a game I'd really like to see somebody play blind is Doom, because you can press the space button and hear the little grunt once you're up against the wall. You can memorize most of the enemy locations, but controlling the character through the maze is another issue. That would be pretty fucking badass. I'd love to see that. I think if I was going to try to play any game blind, it would probably be that, just because I'm familiar with it and I can train through the levels, memorize them, and do it like that, but that might still be too much. There's a couple of those Doom levels that are just fucking harsh, real harsh. Plus, the weapons do randomized damage, so you couldn't always count on this bullet killing this enemy at this time. It wouldn't work like that. There's a lot of games I'd like to see beaten blindfolded, but there's only a few of them that I think you could really do that on, because they have to have the proper audio cues. If there's no audio cues, then you're just memorizing your button inputs, which is equally impressive, but it's, you're not interacting with the game at all. So at that point, it's a memory thing, not a blind thing. So it's different. Maybe I'm just being picky about it, though. But I would like a list of games that could be beaten blind. It would be interesting just to see through them and give them a shot, just see how far I can get. Can I get past level 1 blind? Maybe. But probably not in most cases. But it would be fun to try, you know what I mean? Just as long as it's a game that can be verified to be beatable blind, instead of being something to where you hit the last level kind of like Mike Tyson and it's like, well, that's random at that point, good luck. Because hammering through it till you randomly beat it, again, that's not quite blind. It's kind of like the memory thing, except an even lazier and more time-consuming version of it. So, yeah, it's an interesting idea, I think, but not always applicable for every single game. It is fun to make these games more challenging, though, because this mission's boring the shit out of me.
This building is ours.
We are pretty busy here. Very economical. Is this a shortcut? There is much money to be made. Very
General,
economical.
wave 4 of the enemy's retreat has been detected entering the area. Intel has
We
them
have
moving along the
big
path
plans.
shown on your radar.
Make it
Well, this should be at least a little bit interesting. I wonder how many of these bunkers they can get through.
Make enough light.
I'm gonna guess none.
Enemy tanks out there. Moving rocket launcher.
Standing attention.
Make it worth my time.
We defend China's airspace. Initiating air patrol.
GLA forces incoming from the southeast.
Combat air patrol on station.
Well, they don't stand much of a chance. Unless maybe they start sending in infantry or something like that. May as well keep building helixes. Even though I'm pretty sure I got this in the bag, if things suddenly swapped around and I started getting my ass kicked, I'd hate to have to do this all again. That would be so boring. Oh, they almost got one.
We'll tear through their armor. We'll tear through their armor.
The thunderstorm begins. Looks promising.
Not even close.
The thunderstorm begins.
This is a really easy mission. I think I'm spending more time staring at the ground than I am doing any commandering or conquering. This is more like a tutorial level for a tower defense game.
We will give him prosperity. Thunderstorm.
Not sure what damaged the bunker that time. That was kind of weird.
I built for China.
We'll tear through their armor.
I'm pretty sure if you bunkered up all the entryways, they wouldn't even be able to get through anywhere.
Let's build.
We'll tear through their armor.
That's a good start.
Whoa, that was pretty intense actually. But they got a bunker. It's more than I thought they'd be able to do.
Tear through their armor.
And it's the most exciting thing to happen on the screen in the past 10 minutes.
We'll tear through their armor. China's rockets on. Yes,
General,
General.
wave 5 of the enemy's retreat has been detected entering the area. Intel has them moving along the path shown on your radar.
The speaker tower is ready.
If I fast forwarded through all the boring parts on this mission, it would be like a 5-minute video. Then again, that may not be a bad thing.
We'll tear through
It doesn't bother me that this mission is easy, it just bothers me that it has this time limit on it. Even on the first missions, you can at least try to beat them quickly, right? And they'd be out of the way fast. So, you know, kind of got a little challenge there and you can get out of the way and go on to the next mission. But this one, you have to wait.
Prosperity.
Like I said earlier, it's like a tower defense game, except it's just a tutorial level. And that's so boring. Oh, I hate tutorials.
tear through their
And this is basically throwing a tutorial at me on the second to last mission. That's so fucking annoying. I hated the last mission, but at least I had something to do. This time I'm just kind of sitting here. Even if they blew up one of my defensive lines, I have all these helixes that can swarm anything. Even stranger, they won't let you build any tanks, but you don't really need any tanks. The bunkers and the aircraft are just doing fine, and most of the tanks won't even get damaged. So in this mission, the restriction kind of works like training wheels. There's no way you're going to mess it up right now. You're going to build a lot of helixes pretty much no matter what. About the only way I could see to fuck up this mission is if you just built a bunch of RPG troopers and didn't take any of the other resources, but you'd fuck that up once and figure it out immediately afterwards, right? Besides, even if you built nothing but RPG troopers, you still have the new cannons and helixes that you start the mission with, so you'd be pretty good. I mean, the RPG troopers wouldn't be the best, but they still complement those forces pretty good. Yeah, I guess if there's one thing I hate more than being handicapped, it's if it's the other way around. The other person's handicapped and I'm not, then it's just boring, you know? Kind of reminds me of being a kid and turning on Game Genie and just cheating through some of the boring missions. If you played a boring game and cheated all the way through it, it was just a fucking miserable experience. Kind of a waste of your time, really. The only thing worse than this would probably be an escort mission. Like a timed escort mission with limited units and one path. But at least that might be over quicker than this. This is just... getting really annoying, actually. If this weren't the crux of the entire mission, I would just fast forward through it, but this is the mission. The kind of stuff that I usually just cut through. Just a bunch of filler. Thing is, I can't really think of a way to make this mission any better. I mean, I played some tower defense missions that were pretty good on this, but this is bad. Maybe if they came in from all entrances to attack your base instead of trying to get from one side of the map to the other, that would be a little bit more fun, maybe. At least it might be more difficult. Alright, last wave. Never been so excited to see those words. What could they possibly send to get through me at this point? Look at all the shit I have. I got like 100 helixes. I still have my nuke cannons. What could they possibly send? Maybe if it was a whole ton of demo bikes and quad cannons. That would be pretty hard for me to counter, but it's not going to be that.
China has been generous. It will look real nice when it's done. I build for China. Looks promising. That's a good choice. Make it worth my time.
Well, this is a predictably flaccid finale. What are they going to do next? Send a bunch of workers out after me?
What? Construction built something down there. No stops. Make it worth my time. Punish them.
You know what? I'm done fucking around. Helicopter mosh pit.
No stops. It's our turn. Let's hold these guns. Build orders complete. We're going to ruin somebody's day. No stops. Take it over there for now. Like a ton of bricks. Making a flyby.
Okay, now this is just getting sad. How could the designer possibly think that 4 demo tracks stacked right next to each other would have done anything to a player that survived at this point? I'm calling bullshit on this level's design. This is probably the last mission they touched just as the budget ran out. It's like whoever designed it just decided, We'll just have the units go in a straight line and you can just shoot them all to death. But then again, I guess after the last mission, most players wouldn't complain about an easy mission. And I'm just sick of it. I mean, like I said, an easy mission's one thing, but I have to sit through this. It's like fucking 30 minutes. God damn it. Still, at least it's not Command & Conquer 4. I mean, yeah, this is one mission that's a waste, but at least it's not a whole game that's a waste. That's significantly worse. Yay! It's over! See you again, never, shit mission.
Our forces have arrived from the south. You have been successful in preventing the enemy retreat. Good job, General.
Nothing more to say about this mission. Pretty straightforward. Just stop the enemies coming up from the south, capture all the resources. You'll have more than you'll possibly ever need to do it. So that's it. No more strategy. Just kick their asses. I will say one good thing about this mission, though. I'm playing it right before I go to sleep, and I'm all tuckered out. That was so fucking boring. I can just fall to sleep right now. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.